This is Laura, aka the Sound Sommelier, here with Maticulous. What's your earliest memory of hip hop?
Man, probably like 86, 87. I was really young. I didn't have MTV at my house, but if I would go over to my aunt's house, they would have MTV on. And I remember seeing Run DMC and Aerosmith Walk This Way.
Nice.
And then, also Parents Just Don't Understand were like two specific memories that I've had for sure.
Nice. Can you recall any records that you remember connecting with as a child that played in your house? Or
Well, my mom was a member of Columbia House. I don't know if you remember
I do,
that.
the one penny.
But this was the time you could buy records. So she would
Oh,
get,
I don't
yeah.
know.
So some of the early ones were like the Temptations and the Four Tops, and then I remember doing like the hair metal like White Snake and Bon Jovi and stuff
Nice.
like that. But yeah, those are the ones that stick out.
So how old were you when you started making beats?
Um, I was probably, let me see, 2000, like 24, something like that. Yeah, yeah. I
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
What kind of spurred that?
I mean, I've been into the music for a really long time, but like around 2000 was when I really wanted to get into like making my own stuff.
Hmm.
And it took a while because I didn't have the money nor the stores to buy like the equipment or anything like that. So my first piece of equipment was like from a recommendation from someone who went to my college. They were like, you need to get this keyboard, and it ended up not working out for me. So like I spent like $1,300 on this keyboard that I didn't really use, and
Yes.
then I moved to New York, and then that's when I started like buying equipment after I moved here in 2004.
Right. Oh, that's another question I had. Did you have anyone who served as a mentor when you first really started getting into focusing on your production style?
I mean, well, I started out interning. I started out interning for DJ Honda in
Oh, yes.
2004, and I
Mhm.
did that for like 3 months, and then I moved over to Fat Beats, which I interned there for a few months before they hired me. But like anybody who was talking about production, I would just pick their ear a little bit, see their
Mhm.
style and stuff like that. But there was an in-store for Marco Polo and Pumpkinhead for their album Orange Moon Over Brooklyn.
Mhm.
And I just picked Marco's ear for a little while, and then like kind of started a friendship, and I would go over there. He would give me pointers here and there. And then anybody else who would come through the store, I would just ask like, what's your process? How do you do it? But like I'm not a instruction manual type of person. So like I
Right.
need to see someone actually do it so I can apply it for myself.
Mhm.
So it was various people, but like I had, I was in a good place to learn for sure.
Nice. I miss Fat Beats.
Yeah, me too.
Uh, I used to live down the street. Who
Oh
were some
yeah.
of your early? Yeah. Who were some of your earliest influences?
In terms of like hip hop,
Anything. Your style, your sound, kind of how you
I
crafted your
mean,
beats.
yeah, like Dilla, Quick, High Tech, Pete Rock, um, the Beat Miners, Battle Cat. Yeah.
Is there a story behind why you choose to be called Meticulous and why no caps?
My first name's Matt, and the no caps is just like, producer kind of plays the role in the back, and I think it looks better lowercase anyway. Plus, it's not spelled correctly as it is, so
Right.
I just keep it low.
Keep it low.
Yeah.
Did you want your name to be part of it? Was that kind of how you started? You're like, I'm gonna play around with words a little bit with that, or
It wasn't. I didn't set out for it to be a part of it, but it just kind of made sense because sometimes it will take me like a week to make a beat because I'm just kind of like being
is it like
meticulous, I
someone
guess.
said you're very meticulous with your beats, and you're like,
My
that's
wife, my wife.
perfect.
Yeah. So she kind of did that.
Amazing. So you said that you relocated to Brooklyn. I know that you relocated from Pittsburgh. What was the scene like in Pittsburgh?
Well, I am from like 70 miles east.
Oh, okay.
So, there were certain groups when I was like in high school and stuff, but then like when it really popped off was when I was in college, and that was like the Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller era. And then when I first moved up here is when they kind of really started to blow up. So, I mean, I wasn't there for that scene, but I've worked with artists who are around that scene, and it seemed to be dope, because I would go visit there sometimes, and like everybody was trying to be a rapper, everybody was trying to be a producer, and it was just because they had seen two people just make it to the highest level. So, yeah.
Nice. So the Maticulous EP dropped almost 10 years ago. Why, after a decade behind the boards, did you choose to put out this project?
I was actually less than 10 years. Like, I kind of wanted to start making beats in 2000, but I didn't really start getting into heavy until like 2005. And the person who wrote that, like whenever the Fat Beats blurb came out, I don't know. That's
the
how
timing wrong.
yeah. But it took me a while to be comfortable releasing it. I don't know how, I can't speak for other people, but like I wasn't confident in putting out music within the first couple years of making stuff. So that's why it takes a minute.
I mean, that's meticulous. So Marco Polo was quoted as saying, "Maticulous represents a dope new generation of beat makers, and he's definitely someone you should check for." How did you work to separate yourself from the rest of the producers trying to make it back then? Like you were saying, like everyone just wanted to be a producer.
I just wanted to separate myself from the sound of. I always want to do something different than the sound of the moment. And when I was really starting to put stuff out, or almost ready to put stuff out, the Dipset movement was kind of like really, really prevalent, and I didn't really gravitate to that personally to put that out. And then like the whole sped up soul sample type thing was a big thing. I just, I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I just try to do my own thing, my own way. So, yeah.
Nice. So later that year, you released Mellow Instros, your debut instrumental project. What were you hoping to achieve with that record?
I just wanted to put out a project with beats that I didn't think MCs would rap on. Because I make a lot of chill beats that you just kind of vibe out to, and sometimes when I try to shop them, people are like, no, I need more traditional boom bap, or like straightforward stuff. So the stuff that I have that I enjoy, it doesn't do me any good just sitting on a hard drive or a zip disk or wherever it was at the time. So yeah, just try to put out something you can listen front to back.
Nice.
Enjoyable.
Where did you meet the Audible Doctor, who you worked with to put out your first album?
We met at Fat Beats. We were both interns at the same time. So yeah, we've been friends. Damn, 16 years. That's crazy.
The two of you released a 2-track single as the group Automatic in early 2012. How would you characterize your collaboration style?
How would I characterize that? He takes forever to write. I would say that. That's the first thing. Because he's more known for it as a producer, but we have good chemistry. It's like, do you like this? Do you want to rap on this? Like it's all about like emotion. Like if I hit him with some sort of emotion in the beat, like he's on it. But yeah, generally it takes him forever to write.
Like, hurry up. Also that year you came together with a group of hometown MCs to put out the Confluence EP.
Yeah.
How long had you all known each other at that point?
Not long at all, actually. I went into a store in Pittsburgh where all the rappers would hang out, and I dropped off a copy of my EP, and he's like, you should work with work with some of these guys. And I hit up this kid Beatty, who was in a group with Mac Miller, called the Ill Spoken. He was the one that kind of like spearheaded that project for me. Like I sent him all the beats, how I wanted them to be arranged, and he got himself and Hubs and then a bunch of other guys from Pittsburgh, and we knocked it out. We actually released it for free on fatbeats.com whenever they had a blog. But yeah, it was fun working with those guys for sure.
Nice. Did you see the comment in the chat just now that it was temporarily changed to Matt Beats?
That's my boy Ed from Sandbox. Yeah, I was behind the counter every day for 3 years straight. So yeah,
must have met you then in passing.
You would have had to, yeah, for sure. Because then after I left to go, I went to the warehouse to do like sales and A&R stuff. Audible Doctor was behind the counter, so I'm sure you met him too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you finished out 2012 with the Christmas Sampler 5-track beat tape. Why did these 5 tracks make the final cut?
Oh, I just wanted to put something out because I was in a lull, and I needed something to spark my creativity. So I was like, I might as well just sample some Christmas songs that are not really that celebrated, I guess you would say. So I just flipped 5 of them and put them together. It was fun. It was a challenge.
Nice. Your No Reruns EP with fellow Pittsburgh hip-hop artist John Quest dropped the following year. How did that project come together?
I worked with John on the EP before that, the Confluence, and him and Beatty came up and did a show here at some point, and he said, do you want to do a project? And I was down because he's dope. If you're dope, I'll work with you for sure.
Nice. The Manual EP, another one from Automatic, came out not even a month later. Did you find yourself working on multiple projects at once a lot back then?
I seem to work, whenever I put out stuff, I seem to be working on 2 things at once. So that's like a reoccurring theme for me for whatever reason. I don't know what that is, but yeah, we had pretty much all of the Automatic project done except for 1 track. And then in the time of doing that last track, we finished the No Reruns, so they kind of came out around the same time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it boosts your creativity to work on multiple things at one time? Like it keeps your mind busy?
Yeah, but I find that if I have things in limbo, I get kind of stunted a little bit. I don't know why that is, but still working through it.
Work in progress. Mellow to
exactly.
the FOP to 2011's Mellow Intros came out in 2014. Do you think your approach to this collection was much different than how you handled the last one?
Yeah, because I actually wanted MCs on that project. Like I wanted half instrumental, half vocal. So yeah, it was a little bit different because I had other collaborators. But
were you happy with how it turned out?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really like that one.
Your first full-length producer album, the Maticulous LP, which was released on limited edition gold cassettes and CDs, included features from Lil Fame, Guilty Simpson, Rod Digga, Master Ace, and Blue, just to name a few. Were they all on a wish list of MCs you had always wanted to work with?
Yeah. Whenever I work on producer projects, I like to try to pair up people that have never worked together before. So like, for instance, Fame and Rod Digga, they were only ever on a remix together, not like an official song. So they did a song, and then Blue and Master Ace never worked together before. So I like to, I enjoy hearing people on my beats how I would picture them to sound, as opposed to like, let me make a beat that sounds like something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was fun. That was up until probably Mind of a Man and County of Kings. I thought that was like my best work production wise.
Nice. Because like the caliber of the MCs probably elevated
in terms of sonically and the caliber too. Yeah, and I got to record like pretty much every track in person with everybody. So that was definitely, for sure.
When your fourth instrumental album, The Chrome Tape, dropped in the summer of 2016, you had already proven yourself to be a highly skilled producer whose reputation was supported by more than a few top quality projects. Had you already achieved what you set out to in your career at that point?
Never. I don't think I ever will. No.
That's good. Always
I
reaching.
just, things like that, projects like that are just like on a whim. I was watching Menace to Society one day, and there was a scene where he's driving in his car to Computer Love, and I was like, I want to make an instrumental tape that kind of feels like this. If you're riding in your car, something like that. So, yeah.
Inspiration can come from anywhere.
Exactly.
I like that. In 2017, you produced Brooklyn MC Archie Bang's John Wick single. How did the two of you link up?
We had mutual friends. He actually did a couple songs with Audible Doctor, and we met up one night, the three of us, and we were just like having drinks or whatever. And I sent him. We did John Wick, and then we did another song called, damn, I'm forgetting the name of it. We never released it, but they played it on like Sirius and stuff. But I like working with him. He's like a true New York MC. Reminds me of like the G Unit type era. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind your Instrumental Monday series that you released later that year?
Just staying productive, really. I was in a kind of a lull at that point, because you get burned out from doing producer albums because they take forever and you're dealing with so many different people, and I like have beats forever, and I'm just like, why not release one every Monday or every other Monday and then put them all together as a project. So I did that for 2 volumes, and then I was like, I'm good. It's time to start doing something else.
Well, you got that out of your system.
That's right, yeah.
So you and Justo, the MC, worked together to put out Mind of a Man, which you mentioned earlier, at the start of 2019. What was the vibe like when you appeared together on radio shows like Live from Headquarters with DJ Premier and Rap is Out of Control with DJ Eclipse, who provided cuts on one of the tracks, and DJ Riz on Sirius XM?
Well, we actually met for the first time in front of Sirius XM. He was doing an interview with someone, and I was meeting up with DJ Eclipse for something else. I don't know what it was, but we had mutual friends say, you guys should work together. And yeah, we finally met, and I sent him a few things, and within days he sent back a couple songs, and like it was just very organic. And by the time we put out Mind of a Man, he actually came up under Premier. His cousin was a part of the Gangstar Foundation.
Oh, okay.
And so Premier heard the record and he really liked it, and he invited us to come on, it was pretty surreal, because like he's, you know, one of my biggest influences, and to have him support us like that it's humbling, to say the least, for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my top 2. He's the nicest guy too.
Yeah, for sure.
County of Kings, which was released this past May, serves as the continuing evolution of an MC and producer who abandoned the flavor of the moment approach. Why did you choose to dedicate your second full-length collaborative release to Brooklyn?
Because I've been here for damn near 17 years, and he's born and raised in Brooklyn, and like I feel like, well, we both feel like we have this Brooklyn sound that is it's traditional, but evolving, I guess you would say. And the first song we did off the project was called County of Kings, so we're like, we might as well just call it County of Kings, because it just felt right.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever see Lemon Anderson's show?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever see Lemon Anderson's show? He has a show, County of Kings. It's incredible.
Oh yeah? Where is it?
He performed it somewhere in downtown, but it was years ago. But you could probably still find it online. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I meant to ask, where in Brooklyn are you?
I'm on the cusp of Bushwick and Williamsburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a specific reason why you chose to not have any features on this record?
I just wanted him to show what he could do in an album sense. we didn't have, well, we had, what was it, 2 rap features on Mind of a Man. We had Rashid Chappelle and Kev Brown, and then cuts by Eclipse.
Hmm.
And then on County of Kings, we just had a singing feature and then a guitar solo. But yeah, I just thought he could carry a 10-track album by himself, and I think he did a good job.
Yeah, for sure. Did the pandemic affect how you finished up the project earlier this year? Or had you
Yeah,
already?
yeah, we were actually March 14th, which was like the day after everything got shut down. We were supposed to shoot 2 videos for it. If I remember correctly, the whole album was mixed and mastered by then, and we just didn't know when we were going to put it out. We were going to shoot the videos and then decide to roll them out. But yeah, it definitely affected things. We didn't want to put it out right when the pandemic hit,
Right.
and then we waited until May. But then a lot of stuff was going on in the world, and I think it affected it a little bit, just because who wants to pay attention to music? But at the same time, I'm like, that's all I want to do to kind of get my focus away from everything. So yeah, I don't know. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would have done the same thing. But yeah, it is what it is.
I think a lot of people use music as a distraction the whole time.
Oh man, the first 4 months, I was probably the most creative I've ever been, for sure. Yeah.
Before the pandemic shut down the live music industry, where were some of your favorite spots to play records?
Well, I had 2 residencies, one called Huckleberry, and I'd been there since 2007 DJing, and then there was another spot called 456, and my vibe is like very, very head nod lounge type. I'm not like a club dude, so I'm playing like, funk and soul and classics and disco and stuff like that, so that's my vibe. And both of them obviously haven't been open since March. Yeah, so I miss it. I definitely miss DJing.
Yeah. Did you get to play, like, I know a couple of people had some outdoor gigs over the summer. Did you do any of that?
No, I didn't do any of it. I didn't do any of that stuff. Just working inside, basically.
I get it. You recently celebrated 10 years in the biz. How have you managed to stay creative during the pandemic, and have your methods changed at all over the last 10 months?
I mean, I listen to a lot more music during the day as opposed to like nighttime is like my work time. But since I was home all day, I found that I'm a lot more creative during the day hours than I am at night. But yeah, no methods have really changed as far as like the act of producing music. Just the kind of the time of day, really. But yeah.
So I saw a video you posted while digging at Rough Trade last month. How was the experience different from your visits during pre-COVID days?
It was interesting. Like it was almost like people were stealing records the way they were looking around. Like, don't come near me. Stay out of my zone, which is understandable because it's like you want to be digging through records, but you don't want anyone around you at the same time. So,
Right.
But yeah,
and everyone's usually on top of each other.
Exactly. I don't even know how many people they let in, but there was enough space for sure.
Nice. Well, Matt, I really appreciate you taking the time. Is there anything else you want to add or promote?
What do I want to promote? I mean, look out next year. I got a couple projects coming out, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is here where people have the best chance of staying on top of that?
Yeah. I mean, even though Instagram has changed all their algorithms and like 10% of the people get to see what I'm doing, but yeah, I mean, I guess Instagram and Twitter. But my Bandcamp, I got vinyl and CDs and tapes and stuff for purchase. It's maticulous21.bandcamp.com.
Nice. Well, I hope you have a great night.
You too. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for taking the time. Hope you and your family are well and have a good Christmas or holidays, whatever you celebrate.
Likewise.
Have a good one.
You too.